dropped down 2 places since the start. Round the outside line goes Danny, who now goes for the race lead, but he's fighting back on Thrive for Life in a minute, and the Red Bull just about holding his position. And here for round 5 is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Malou wins here in Baku. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to WRC. It is the first round of the season, and after a few weeks of waiting, we are finally back. Brand new season, 19 drivers joining us tonight then for the Australian Grand Prix. And this is going to be a very nice race indeed. Very nearly full grid. A lot of people in the chat tonight as well. Brand new sponsors here in the World Racing Championship coming in. As you can see at the top there, Boss Property Rentals, which we're going to be talking about later on in the stream. But tonight is Australia, and 14 turns then across this track. You take the lap at full throttle for 77% of it. Top speed then down the back straight, 203 miles per hour. And the tyre wear in the medium range then that it's found to be around here, which is not too bad. We've seen it a lot worse, but we'll find out how it goes today then for the drivers. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, this is the first round of this season, and we have 15 minutes of qualifying here at the Albert Park circuit, and then we go into the 50% race. Looking down the order, most drivers here are joining us from last season. However, there is a few new ones. JP, one of the new drivers this season, and of course one of the commentators in the World Racing Championship usually. Here he is, racing in the Tuesday division. Finally, we get to see it. I'm very excited to see how well he does then. Down in P17 at the moment, no time set just yet for him, but he's making his way around, and we will definitely see his lap fairly soon. We've been told as well to look out for F1 Nathan and Shelby, as we do, like I mentioned, have some new drivers. Harry as well, down in 16. Slow P Gamer is a new driver. Shelby's fairly new. Brocker is a new driver as well, as he's heading up towards the line and beginning a lap. I'm very good, thank you, mate. DJC, good to see you in the chat this evening. Thank you very much, Dave PH, as well. I appreciate that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this evening. Darryl for the first time in the afternoon then, as he sets a 1 minute 17.394. I'm going to turn off some of the graphics there that are coming up and overlaying. I do apologise. But it's looking good for tonight. F1 Nathan already then setting the quickest time, and look at the gap between him and Darryl. It is a 1:15.6 then. The gap between 1 and 2 absolutely massive then at the moment, and it's a 1.7 second deficit at the moment. The two Williams though lining up in 1 and 2. We've just been told to look out for F1 Nathan, and look at the time that he delivers. It is absolutely beautiful to kickstart this evening off. But I'm very much looking forward to get into this one this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Slow P Gamer sets a P3 then here in qualifying. 1:17.3 for him. It is Darryl who lines up in 4th place at the moment. 1 minute 17.394. And the list is going to continue to build here for this qualifying session this evening. But a great race on our hands, and broken towards the line in the Racing Bull. Crosses the line. What can the RB do? It is a P8 at the minute. Unfortunately, slowest driver here. There's a lot of time to find in that, so we'll find out how well he can do later on. Scofie then on his way around. This looks like, at the minute, this looks like a lap around for him, and we are going to spectate him on that one now then. Here he is in P11 without a time on the board at the moment. Only 9 drivers yet to do it, and Scofie will be there soon. Humboldt over the line then. Scofie's teammate sets a P4 at the moment. 1 minute 16.6 and about 600th of a second of deficit to Samuel Toby Hine. What can Scofie do? It is unfortunately slower in sector 1, but he does get a cheeky toe there on the Racing Bull, who hits the barrier, but the kick Sauber does fly through. And we're going to see what his middle sector is looking like as he heads down there in a moment. It is a 17.499 then in the middle sector. In fact, actually, the first two sectors are personal best. Not showing that on our graphic here, but I do see that. It's personal best 1 and 2 for Scovey, of course, on his first go around. But it's quite slow compared to some of the quicker drivers. So we're going to see what it will be over the line here in Albert Park then for the kick. Sowbury looked like he slowed down quite a lot there, but he's foot to the floor out of the final corner. Here comes the kick up towards the line. Will this be a decent time on his first go? It's P6 for Scovey, 2 places behind his teammate. Not a bad effort at all. Gets himself quite high up on the grid, and as we know, this league, every season we have, this is the 3rd season of WRC, and every season that we have, wow, the caliber, the level of driving increases massively, and it's getting much harder to beat. And some of the drivers we used to see win races and be up at the top are now mid-pack or even at the back. This is how, mental it is getting in this league. The drivers are really quick, and we're getting some very fast drivers coming in. But I'm not complaining at all. At F1, Mikey Boyd doing a very good job at the moment. He is running in 3rd place at the minute in the Haas car with a 1 minute 16.0, just about out of the 1 minute 15s right now. But we are just about mid-qualifying, and I did touch on it earlier, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a brand new sponsor here in the World Racing Championship. And I think it is about time for our first sponsor segment here in WRC. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, WRC is proud to partner with the Boss Property Rentals, offering luxury sea view Airbnbs for both short and long stays. This spacious and distinctive apartment is designed to keep the whole group comfortable, featuring stunning views across the sea and the local marina. Ideally located, you'll be surrounded by vibrant bars, excellent restaurants and charming boutique shops. Just a short drive away, you'll find some of Pembrokeshire's most breathtaking coastline and beaches, perfect for days out and coastal adventures. Whether you're visiting as a couple, with a family or in a group, there's plenty to keep everyone entertained. The property is also conveniently located near the Ironman Wales event, making it an ideal base for participants and supporters alike. That is your first sponsor, everybody. Brand new sponsor here in WRC, Boss Property Rentals. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring the stream, and make sure you go and check them out. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for qualifying here for Season 3. And, wow, what a season we've got on our hands. F1 Nathan at the minute, the man ahead in the Williams. It is a 1 minute 15.620. He is the man to beat at the moment, and looking very fast. The gap just under 0.2 of a second then between P1 and P2 at the moment. And that is sure to come down. It really, really is. The level of racing we are witnessing here in WRC at the moment is just incredible. And it's going to get even better. It really is. But here comes Danny then. He's on outlap. We've got a few more behind him as well. These will be really interesting to see. Humboldt on 1-2. Samuel making his way around. And towards the line for this man then. What has he got in store? P7 at the minute for him. It is not looking amazing. Samuel Toe does cross the line though for an improvement there. And P6 is his at the minute. 1:16.3 at the moment is his time. Maloon then making his way around. Maloon, I believe he's just completed the lap. So we're going to leave him. I want to check out JP. He lines up P11 here in qualifying so far. Which is mid-pack, not amazing, but not too bad at the minute. And he has got a bit of time on his hands here to try and improve if he can. 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go of this qualifying session as Blake, he's looking a bit squabbly then, heading into the pit lane here. in quali. Slow-P Gamer on his first race in the World Racing Championship. 1 minute 17.3. Quite down on time at the minute, and he's invalidated too. Could be going around again. His tyres 0 laps sold. This is the first lap he's done on them, so we're expecting him to go for another lap, and we will see that soon. However, the top few drivers are starting their flying laps, and this is where, you know, the time is. This is what we want to be seeing. This is going to be some lovely action. F1 Mikey Boy then running in P3 at the moment. Just behind him is LH Shelby in positions, and also on the track too. Just behind Danny is second place. He's unfortunately invalidated on his lap around. He's soon to cross the line. It wasn't looking too bad either, but this time does go into the pit lane. He will have time to go again, but that has just spoiled a chance for him, unfortunately. Mikey, another driver to invalidate. Now it is Shelby, who maybe picked up a small toe there down in towards the chicane, swinging it to the left-hand side, and he does set a fastest middle sector. And at the moment, this driver is absolutely flying here in qualifying. Shelby looking good at the moment as he heads into the right-hand side, turn 11 into the final few corners, then down under. Here in Australia, it is the Albert Park circuit this afternoon for the first round, and Shelby, his competition have all invalidated their laps around today. What can he do? His rear is sliding massively around the final corner. He hits the barrier, and in something we don't see very often, Shelby retires from qualifying. Massive hit into the wall, and the tyre comes clean off down the pit straight. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Apparently the server's died, and a few people have just left the session there. But wow, that was a big crash into the barrier for Shelby. Not something you see very often. Drivers, you know, invalidate quite often, maybe tap the wall, but to actually fully retire from the session with a huge crash like that, you don't see it very often, and Shelby has just done that. He will not be happy at all. Starting P4 at the moment, but it is looking like he'll be starting less than that, as drivers with 5 minutes to go will be putting in quicker times. Speaking of quicker times, Nathan is going much quicker at the minute, and his first sector is a 26.238, which is currently quickest out of everybody. Purple sector 1 at the moment. Second sector is a 17 flat. Now the final third is to come. Here comes the Williams of F1 Nathan. He's quickest at the minute by 0.2 of a second. Has he found any more time now for pole? He has. Loads of time found in that lap, and it's a 15.3 now for Nathan. Extends the gap then between him and Danny behind to nearly half a second. Nathan absolutely flying in qualifying, and definitely a driver to watch. Danny's quick. Danny's a fairly new driver in WRC. And his competition, usually F1 Mikey Boy, who's just brought it to him at 1:15.7. Now Nathan is here bringing the action as well. We've got a really competitive front few drivers, and front, you know, the front of the pack, really competitive here for season 3. And every season we've had in WRC, it has got much more competitive. This is going to be the most competitive season yet. I can already see by these qualifying times. Nathan looking rapid. Mikey and Danny aren't really far off. Fry for Life also there, world champion, and running fourth in the McLaren. I struggle to get my head around how we are on the third season now of commentating this league. I started all the way back the first round of the season. I believe it was Spa, Belgium in season 1. Now we're here for the Australian Grand Prix, season 3 of WRC. How fast time flies, especially when you're having fun in a league like this. But we've got 3.5 minutes then of qualifying. Mikey Boy makes his way around the circuit. It's a 1:15.781, and he's looking like he's going into the pit lane now then, and he does, where he'll get ready, get the car set up and prepared for one final push lap with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. The time is getting cut very short indeed, but he has got the time to do it. P2 at the minute, and of course he wants that pole for the first round of the season, but Nathan is looking, you know, unbeatable at the minute, untouchable in fact. And can he be beaten is the question that still remains. We'll find out. We shall see with only 3 minutes left. Jay has invalidated on this lap around. He'll be going into the pit lane potentially, or going around again. His tyres are 1 lap old, meaning he's probably gone round already. So that'll be the end of his quali at the minute. Harry on an out lap, as well as Daryl and Humble too, and Scofie, who are all out. We're going to see who's closest towards the line. I think it's Daryl. Daryl across the line. There we go then. Daryl starting a flying lap. Let's see what this man can do, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he's got a good lap time in store with the DRS activated all the way down in towards turn 3 here at Albert Park. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, and the yellow flag's flying through the first corner, as I think drivers now exiting the pit lane, heading slowly through there, and the track getting highly congested in the final few minutes of this session. But Daryl on his last lap of the day, and every single corner counts. Every single metre of the track, it has to be perfect. Romeo Blues now retires from the session, as well as Blake. Both drivers out of qualifying in the latter stages with only 2 minutes to go. And of course we'll have the run over time as well. But Daryl now through the chicane he goes, and it's looking quick at the minute. It's a personal best in sector 1 and 2. Through the gears to 8th now. He goes down into 3rd with turn 11. Mr. Williams looking absolutely rapid at the moment. It is personal best 1, 2. Can it be personal best in 3 as well? P12 for Daryl needs an improvement here. 400ths of a second needed for P11. Up towards the line then for him. Can he improve today? From 1:16.9, he does. That is a beautiful time indeed. Daryl sets a 1:16. It's a 1:16.1 then. And just behind, Ferrari for Life, world champion here. The top 4 on their outlaps then, and the final few lap times coming in. Scofie makes his way down in towards the end of sector 2 then for the kick Sauber. Will this be an improvement for him with a minute to go? So 1:16.3 for him, 2/10 of a second then to Shelby, about a 10th and a half actually, and he goes into the second sector now. His middle sector is a 17.224. Personal best in 1 and 2 then, so he is finding time. We saw Daryl earlier setting personal best in the final sector. He just came alive. He set a P5. Can Scofie do the same? He's a bit scribbly then through the turn 13. Now turn 13 he goes into turn 14, the final turn here in Albert Park. And for his final time of the day, can Scofie find any more time here then? 1:16.3. So 1:16.227, but not enough for a move, not enough for a position gain there, and that is the end of his qualifying session. Up towards the front then, where this is going to be quite an exciting showdown. F1 Nathan, ladies and gentlemen, sets a fastest first sector. F1 Mikey Boy up towards the first sector in a moment's time, as well as Danny, who crosses that first sector now, and his first sector currently a 26.338 then here in qualifying at the minute. So not looking too bad. It is a personal best at the minute, but Nathan looking the best out of the front few. It's a 26.172 in the first, 17.031 in the second. F1 Nathan absolutely flying as Andy J. Price retires from the session. Here comes the Williams then to round off his final lap of this brand new season. It's a 1:15.0, and did we expect any less? Nathan currently on provisional pole. For I for Life not able to improve then the gap, about 4.5 of a second. Mikey is 7/10 of a second behind here. He needs to find some time. F1 Mikey Boy is quickest in the middle sector with a 16.876. That is rapid. He heads towards the line in the Haas car. Then can he get anywhere near pole? Mikey Boy crosses the line. It's only good enough for P2. The gap between him and Ferrari for Life is minuscule. 5,000ths of a second pretty much between them. But it is looking like Nathan's going to be on pole then. We check for final times. We don't have any more. F1 Nathan for Season 3 in the World Racing Championship takes pole position by 4.5 of a second. Incredible lap time from him. has dropped down 2 places since the start. Round the outside line goes Danny, who now goes for the race lead, but he's fighting back on Fry for life in a minute, and the Red Bull just about holding his position. And here for round 5 is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Malou wins here in Baku. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the World Racing Championship. We head down under then for the first round of this season. And after 2 brilliant seasons, we go into season 3 with a huge amount of competition. Here it is down Melbourne, Australia, with 3.279 miles track distance and 14 turns across the entirety of the circuit. Qualifying was incredible, with some beautiful times we saw, especially from the brand new driver F1 Nathan. As here's the tyres that drivers will be using today. It's the C5, the C4 and the C3. C5 the soft, C4 the medium, and the C3 is the hard. We do have the wets available too. We're not looking like we're going to need that today, as we do have a slight break before we get into the action, ladies and gents. And you're going to have to just wait a little moment, and then we'll get into the first round of the season. Hopefully you're all looking forward to it. The formation lap begins then, and pretty much on cue there. Apparently a 3-minute break. Don't know if we had that, unless the 3 minutes went really, really quick. But either way, we are starting now then. Here we go. Brand new season, brand new drivers, brand new sponsors. Boss Property Rentals, of course, for tonight. And F1 Nathan lines up on pole position. His teammate Daryl not too far away down in P6. The McLaren's quite close to Fry for Life and Nova Piper lining up 3 and 4. But apart from that, everybody else pretty spaced out. Danny on his own in the Red Bull in P4. F1 Mikey Boy, his teammate Samuel down in 9. Quite spread at the moment, but a brilliant race we are going to have on our hands, and I cannot wait to get into it. This is one of the leagues that I commentate where I really do get excited for it, because the action is brilliant every time. And I've said before, every single time we get to a race meeting, the action and the caliber of racing, competitiveness of everything just increases massively, and it always happens. It's happened today again in qualifying. But the thing that's going to excite me and the thing that's interesting me at the moment is F1 Mikey Boy lines up to, we know what his race pace is like. F1 Nathan, he currently is the pole sitter. However, we've not seen his race pace yet. Is his race pace better than qualifying pace, or is he potentially a little bit worse in the race? And Mikey might just get the jump on him down into the first corner. Either way, he looks tempted and quite ready and eager to get on with this today. Then he's well in front of the rest of the pack and already in his grid box. Everybody else soon to line up on the grid then for the first round of the season. And finally 20 drivers join us as Romeo Blues lines up in P20, back of the grid then, joining late this evening as the drivers line up on the grid. As we watch from the front then, ladies and gentlemen, the 5 lights. The 5 lights get on ahead of the drivers here for the first round of the season. The World Racing Championship, Nathan on pole. And it's lights out and away we go here down under. Nathan off the line well then in the Williams. Mikey's going to try and challenge him already into the first corner. Mikey not able to get through. He's got Fry for Life trying to make an overtake on him here. The Haas car then makes his way across the track, and already we've got a safety car, virtual safety car I believe here then on the race start. I'm not entirely sure why the leaderboard is flashing. I do apologise about that. But F1 Nathan got a brilliant start. Mikey then in second place. He had a decent start as well. Third place, Fry for Life running in third. Noah Piper 4, Danny 5, Daryl 6 said is Mikey in the barrier. Lobby restart, unfortunately, everybody. Lobby restart. We'll be back with you when it's time to go racing again. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let me just quickly make sure everything is all good. There we go. Right then, we are back for the World Racing Championship first round of the season. Unfortunately, we have just had to reset the lobby, which has added quite a bit of time on this evening, but we are back and 20 drivers joining us then, with F1 Nathan being your pole sitter. F1 Mikey Boy then lines up second place, Fire for Life lines up third, Danny 4, 5 is Nova Piper, Daryl 6, Shelby 7, Scofie 8, Samilton 9, Humble 10, Andy J Price 11, JP here in 12, Sidemen 13, Maloon 14, Blake 15, Harry 16, Slopey Gamer 17, Broker 18, JF1 19, and Romeo Blues at the back of the grid, joining late in P20. But what a race we have on our hands, and the competition in this league has just gone sky high. It's incredible now, and something, you know, hard to be reckoned with. But here we go then, the drivers making their way round. Oh, the back end sliding out there for Nathan. This time he doesn't have as much of a gap between him and the guys behind, but Mikey's doing it on purpose. Bit of a gap here then. Nathan does run off. Mikey behind. Then come the rest of the drivers, but I'm very looking forward to see this race start then. We're going to see it for a second time, as the lobby did bug out a little bit earlier on. Here we go then, everybody. Let's kick-start this Grand Prix. The drivers lining up on the grid for the first round of Season 3. Here we go then, everybody. Look at the position in there from Mikey Boy, all the way to the left-hand side. The lights build up to 5 then for the first round of Season 3. And here down under, it is lights out and away we go. F1 Nathan with a decent start, but Mikey with a much better start now. He already gets through into P1. Mikey Boy takes the lead then through the first corner. Nathan drops down a place. Nova Piper now fighting with Danny, who's just about through now into third. Nova having to drop down to 4. Ferrari for Life then running in 5 as Shelby behind that in P6. Broker already on the first lap of the Grand Prix, retired from the session as a VSC has been deployed already. Wing damage there at the back from a few drivers. Humboldt then picks up some wing damage on the front left. Lots of damage for the drivers. We've got a bit of damage there for Andy J Price on the front right. We've got some on the front left there for Slow P Gamer. Behind that as well, we've got Blake with wing damage on the front and the front left and right, as JP at the back of the grid in P19. 80% damage down on the front left wing. Lots of damage and a lot of pit stops to be expected then after this VSC when the drivers make their way round towards the line. But F1 Mikey Boy getting the jump on F1 Nathan. He leads ahead of Nathan at the moment. Danny lines up third. Nova 4 joined by his teammate Ferrari for Life in 5. There's down at the back Romeo Blues and Jay get an overtake there then. And change around on the first lap. As F1 Mikey Boy leads. And he's had a good start at the minute. He has had a very good start leading this Grand Prix, but he has to hold it now when the racing action continues. Can he do so? VSC is ending, and we are getting ready to go racing again. Here we go then, down towards turn 1. Mikey Boy then has got a job on his hands here. He's got to keep behind the pole sitter, who took pole by a very nice margin indeed. How well can he do this then? The Haas car running away at the moment with a 3.5 gap. Nathan in 2, it is Danny then runs in 3rd. Nova getting mega closer here to the Red Bull, possibly making a move. not too far behind, and when he can, he will definitely be slipping up the inside line. Humboldt then with a 3-second time penalty, as we have one driver now with a penalty, and I'm sure that is going to build as time goes on. Drivers already picking up warnings on the second lap of the Grand Prix. Warnings coming out of nowhere for everybody then, as here comes Nova Piper on the backside of the Red Bull of Danny. This is going to be a move around the outside line, isn't it? Can he make a move? No, he cannot, but he's right there. As soon as the gap opens up, we're going to get it. Look at the slingshot from his teammate. Fry for Life is right here now. He's ready to make an overtake then on the backside of his teammate. Can't do it just yet, but he's right there. And like I've said before, when the gap opens up, we're going to get some overtakes here, especially with these two teammates. Lap 3 is about to begin then for the drivers. Fry for Life then running in 5 on his teammates at the moment. As F1 Mikey Boy now 0.8 of a second ahead of Nathan and keeping him behind quite nicely, actually. He's really doing well at the minute to keep him behind. Mikey setting a 1:19.3, the fastest lap at the minute. Humboldt then in the pit lane. He goes in to get some get a new wing on that car, and he will get some new tyres, of course, in the process. But lap 3 of 29, and Mikey leads 0.6 of a second. The gap Sidemen with a time penalty then of 3 seconds here, as he picks up his first of the day. We'll make our way down in towards the chicane then, where it is turn 9 through all the way down to turn 10 in a moment, and it is lap 3 of 29. 26 laps of racing, everybody. Mikey Boy at the moment looking good ahead of Nathan. Nathan, of course, a newcomer in this league and took pole by a very nice margin. The race has been a different story, struggling to make that overtake on Mikey, struggling to hold his place actually on the race start, and you know, into turn 1 Mikey led, so it was a struggle from Nathan since the first lap, and now he is just trying to rebuild on his mistakes. Can he do so is the question. As the laps tick by, Romeo Blues getting ahead of Slow P Gamer. As behind that, then Blake with a bit of a battle here with Samulto, who gets through into P16. JP is in 15 now, as he was at the back of the grid early, but he's been into the pit lane now to get new tyres and a brand new wing. Slow P Gamer coming out of the pits then on brand new tyres, and I assume a new wing for him as well. Oh, he's left the session actually. Never mind. As this battle continues, the two McLarens fight down in towards turn 9. Are we going to see an overtake from these guys? We've seen them very close for all 4 laps at the moment, but not enough now for an overtake. But on the backside, the McLaren doing what he can. Oh, Fry for Life, as you know, world champion from last season. And he's here trying to do it again, but the competition has just risen, you know, on this season start, and he's struggling really. He really is, down in P5, normally up there winning races. Daryl and Jay then fighting at the back. P18 and P19 are having a nice go at it. It is Daryl who gets ahead into P18 now, making a move through. Slow P Gamer, of course, an AI now who left the game, unfortunately. These guys fighting, Samulto and JP. JP around the outside line in the Alpine trying to defend his position, but Samulto with a bit better pace than up the inside line. He gets through now, makes a place, and Samulto down up into P14, sorry. Look at these guys then, JP and Samulto having a really nice battle at the back. P14 then gets taken by JP. How long for? Samulto trying to fight back here for a position, changing around all the time. We go to the front then. We just missed another overtake, but it's going to happen again here for Shelby on Scofie. Round the outside line, it's an overtake and a half there. Absolutely brilliant. Shelby into P6. Ahead of Scofie, and the battle continues up at the front. The McLaren's finally now having that scrap we've been waiting for. Nova Piper right in the backside of his teammate. Fry for Life's back end sliding out a little bit more than he wanted it to there around the final corner. Lap 6 begins then with the drivers as Nova doing what he can to make this overtake on his teammate. Not coming for him just yet. Right onto the curbs there then, as yellow flags. It is a virtual safety car, DRS disabled, as F1 Mikey Boy as your leader. We've got a 10-second penalty then for one of the drivers here, and it looks like it was Slow P Gamer who picked up a penalty. Daryl retires from the session. It is a full safety car on lap 6 of 29. Full safety car deployed. And Mikey, under this safety car, is your leader. Nathan behind him, then comes Danny, and then comes the two McLarens. Only 6 laps into the Grand Prix, and we've already got a safety car. We've had 2 VSCs as well. Well, this has been a crazy start, and we've had a pit stop now. Oh, hang on a minute. Mikey Boy down in P3. He's had a mistake there, has Mikey. And he lines up now third. Shelby into second. Danny now leads the Grand Prix behind the safety car. Lap 7 of 29 then, and a long way to go in this race. Remember, we have your post-race interviews as well, which come just after. But ghosting off is chaos, says Jacobs Gaming. It's been pretty crazy, it really has, but it is always good to be back for WRC. Really glad we're here, and you know, it is lovely to have new starts, brand new season, new sponsors, everything looking better as the seasons go on. But still behind the safety car, and the driver's lining up behind it now. Everybody getting closer and closer as time goes on. Well, Blake at the back of the grid, JP down in 16 at the minute, and it's a shame to see from him. I was expecting a bit more, but unfortunately, just not found his groove here in Tuesday on the World Racing Championship Tuesday division. It is a shame to see, but it is what it is, and hopefully he can bounce back at some point in the future. But it's his first meeting here with us on the Tuesday nights, and I'm sure he will start to pick it up as time goes on. But he lines up down in 15. Blake's in 16. 17 is Slow P Gamer. Ironic, the name at the back of the grid. As Jay, Daryl and Broker, all three have retired from the session on the 8th lap of 29. With 21 laps of racing remaining. Danny then, everybody. your leader, and the safety car surely in this lap, or if not this lap, one more around and then in. Well, what a start it has been then. We've had many virtual safety cars. We've had safety cars too. Still under one now, but we should get going after this lap. Hectic starts, and, you know, what do you expect here in the WRC? Crazy, crazy racing we get to witness, and it always is fun to watch. Danny as your leader, Shelby 2, Mikey now in third, and it's going to be exciting to see how he handles the pressure of being further down and knowing that he needs to gain some places to be at the front. How does he handle that is the question. In third, 2 people in front of him when the safety car goes in, and that will be this lap around. We are soon to go racing again after a few laps of waiting, and with 20 laps remaining when they cross the line, we've got a brilliant race on our hands down under then everybody in Albert Park this afternoon. Danny leading, but how long for? He didn't have a good start in the race start, and now he's going to have to try and improve on this rolling start because he doesn't want to lose out to Shelby. But when will he pounce? He could go as early as now, but he isn't. Leaving it as late as possible then. He can leave it as long as he wants as he heads round the final corner then. The final few now, turn 13 through 14, and now towards the line. He goes now, and it's a good start for Danny then. Shelby's going to try and gain, but I've got to say, Danny's really mastered the start there for Mikey Boy, gaining on the Aston Martin here. Not enough then to pull ahead and side by side to make an overtake at the moment. Danny towards turn 1 with the rest of the drivers, and it is a clean start then for everybody at the moment as Blake, the driver, at the back of the grid, and that was the cleanest start we've seen today. Very nice indeed. As Mikey lines up in third with a 0.2 of a second gap to Shelby in front then. Trying to gain as much as he can. Behind that is Nathan. Then comes Fry for Life. They snake through turn 6. Now turn 7 and 8 then in a moment's time. Look at this battle here then for Fry for Life on the backside. Making his way through past Nathan. Nathan, unfortunately everybody, running in 4. Where can he find himself then? He makes his way through into 4th place, and the McLaren then makes contact. Fry for Life, unfortunately, in P5, loses out now. Loses a place and another now to Scofie. Scofie gets through to 5th place. Ladies and gentlemen, Scofie trying to get ahead here, but can he do so? Locking up then through the 90-degree. This is incredible through there. Then the race, the kick Sauber into the barrier. Scofie might cause another safety car here. Look at the action there, and it's massive wing damage. It was sideways through the track there. Yellow flags coming out and loads of carnage through the final sector as we have got Scofie retiring from the session. But Danny as your leader, Nathan then P2, and it is absolutely rapid. I just want to put it out there. If Danny was the driver to start the safety car restart, I'm so sorry, I got that all wrong. I was mixing Danny up for Nathan. But Nathan now is, you know, already pulling him in. He's reeling him in. And it is some good pace from Nathan. Really, really quick driver. Brand new here in the World Racing Championship, and someone that the rest of the drivers here are going to dread. They really are, because look at this. Nathan already half a second behind and closing in. Getting there, really getting close, but not enough now. Still there though. Shifted a bit early there. to get 4/10 of a second. It is all going on behind as well with Mikey on the backside of Shelby. Mikey doing what he can here to make an overtake then right on the rear side of the Aston Martin. Not too far off third place in a podium position at the moment. Shelby with a penalty as well of 3 seconds. So right now Mikey is on the podium, but we're still a while out from that. Not even a half race distance just yet. As here comes Mikey Boy up the inside line. Will this be an overtake? It will be for a moment, but can he hold it on the Aston Martin? Wheel banging through the first 2 corners then, and the Haas car just about pulls ahead then of Shelby. Shelby now has got Ferrari for life then. Ferrari for life. Trying to make an overtake on him in P4. Mikey into 3rd. Ferrari for life into 4th. Shelby drops down to 5, but Ferrari's front there just snapping a bit with the oversteer. Nothing that's going to set him off track though. As we look back up to Nathan, who leads the Grand Prix now ahead of Danny. As Nova and Shelby then 5 and 6. Look at the battle going on here then. The Alpine round the outside line of the Aston Martin. That was a great move. And now we're going to see Harry try and get through on the Aston. He sends it up the inside of the Aston Martin. Look at this move on Shelby. Shelby's had a shocker then all the way down to 8th place. Harry goes through to 7th. Sidemen as well. What an overtake that was, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 13 of 29, an incredible start so far. Not halfway through just yet, but the lap's ticking over, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been a really enjoyable race to watch at the moment. Nathan leads. Danny 2nd place, Ferrari for life running in 4th. The man between them is Mikey Boy, who just about on the podium, and he did lead the Grand Prix earlier on, but the safety car messed around. The order, unfortunately, messed him up as well. As here's Nova Piper running in 5 behind his teammate by half a second then. Off the side of the track, there goes Sidemen running it well onto the grass there. Here comes Harry up the outside line. Harry makes an overtake for a moment. Can he get ahead of the Alpine? They are locking wheels through turn 11. Harry into P6 now. Sidemen loses out. It's F1 Mikey Boy and Danny swap positions, and Mikey now finds himself in 2nd place in the Grand Prix. Humboldt in the pit lane then, Danny in P16, as he will get his tyres changed. Humboldt now back of the grid then. It is lap 14. We haven't seen an incredible amount of pit stops just yet. We have had stops though, of course, under safety car and things like that. Danny, running in 3rd, has not been into the pit lane once just yet. The same with Shelby. 2 drivers that haven't touched the pit lane at all. Best know about what happened. Carnage, absolute carnage, mate. We've had a safety car earlier on. Drivers retiring. Scofie doing 360s, mate. It was crazy. It was absolutely mental. Slow P Gamer with a time penalty, 3 seconds there. Look at this, Sidemen up the inside line, and Malone here then trying to back off, but Sidemen looks to the outside, not enough there. Holding him, now he's in a slingshot round the final corner towards the line, lap 15 of 29. Sidemen pulling away, Malone pulling away from Sidemen there quite well. But now on the inside line, Slow P Gamer retires. As look at, never mind. It is lagging. It is lagging pretty bad. My apologies. look at this battle here then. Fry for Life. Danny went around. Danny down to P5. Then Nova Piper and Fry for Life. Both McLarens come through then into 3 and 4. But Danny loses a place, unfortunately. Everybody down in P5. Loses out quite a bit. Maloon now on the outside line. What is going on? Maloon into the barrier. Spinning around now backwards onto the gravel trap. Down in P10 as he brings himself back onto the circuit. Oh, very close there to Mercedes of Romeo Blues into the barrier as well for Samilto. And it is a big crash there for the Haas car. What is going on? No safe. Now a safety car comes from that on lap 15. Safety car deployed as we have a huge crash for Samilto into the barrier. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, another safety car in this Grand Prix. It has been pretty crazy then on the start. And now halfway through we are. Hey Jack, is there any way you can save the race replay at the end of the race? There's not a way that I can do it, but if you are, if you're in and driving, then you can. But I can't, unfortunately, do it. It's only drivers that can save race replays. Well, into the pit lane for Nathan, Mikey as well. Nova Piper is coming in, Fire for Life. Everybody, surely now, is going to be coming in under safety car conditions. Lap 17 of 29 is about to begin. And we have our second full safety car of the day. Looking like we're going to be racing on lap 18, potentially. Lap 19 at the most. Look at this, car park then coming through. The pit stops on your screen then. Danny's only pitted once, so I don't think he has... No, he's just made a pit stop, I believe. Nathan ahead then, he's made a stop as well. 2 stops now, Mikey on the 2 stops. Everybody pretty much going in for stops now. Then everybody's made a pit stop. Most of them now with 2, even 3 stops for Blake at the back and JP. JP, it's gone all bad for him, unfortunately. He's down in P14. You know, back of the grid, but 14th position's not bad. There's been a lot of retirees, unfortunately. Well, at 19, my prediction is that is when we're going to go racing again. And tonight it's taking a bit longer than it usually would, or it will take longer than it usually would, because, of course, we had a lobby restart, unfortunately. But first round of the season, not everything's going to go to plan. And, of course, it hasn't to date. But the racing has still been great, and 2 safety cars. It's been a bit hectic in places, but very enjoyable, you have to admit. The race has lasted 47 minutes so far. Oh my god. Are you sure? I don't think it has. I think it might have been 47 minutes from the first race start, but I don't think this one's been 47. Or has it been 40? I don't know. I think, no, we started this race at 45, so it's been going on half an hour. This one's been going on half an hour, the second race. So we have, you know, when you compare it to what it normally takes, we should have around 10 to 15 minutes left of the Grand Prix. But of course, safety car has mixed it up just a bit, but it will add time on. And lap 18 to 29 will become lap 19, and we'll be going racing for the final time of the day. Everybody, 10 laps remaining. 10 laps to decide who will be the first race winner of Season 3 here in the World Racing Championship. Then we'll speak to the top 3 in the interview room as well. Always fun to do so. Cannot wait to do that as well for the first round. But here we go then. Green flags are going to fly, and it is all eyes now to Nathan to get the drivers going. Can he get this race start good and improve on his bad race start earlier on and avenge himself? Nathan round the final corner then, leaves it quite late, but actually Mikey's already with him. Starting quite well there, did Mikey. Right in the backside of him, down in towards turn 1. 0.3 of a second, the gap then. Here we go, in towards the first corner. Nova Piper running in the P3 at the moment. Danny runs in 4. P5 then is Fry for Life. Then comes P6, Sideman, Harry in 7. Shelby in 8. 9 is Andy J. Price. And 10 is Humble. But Fry for Life and Danny then changing around. Ferrari into P4. Gets ahead of Danny at the moment. Danny drops a place. Fry for Life through in the McLaren. And a great move for him then. What a start to this safety car restart. Nathan leads then. Look at this. This is the fight we've been waiting for. F1 Mikey Boy into turn 9 through turn 10 now then. He was side by side with Nathan for a moment, but he couldn't get through. Having to wait, but now he has got through. Mikey Boy in the first round of the season on lap 19 of 29 finally gets ahead of F1 Nathan. The two F1 boys in their names, fighting at the top, and Mikey Boy has now come out the better driver at the moment than Nathan in P2, and this battle is going to be far from over. As Mikey sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Laps getting quicker and quicker as time goes on. F1 Nathan runs into half a second behind Mikey Boy. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier on the formation lap. You know, Nathan was really quick in qualifying, but the race pace, I've got to give it to Mikey at the moment. I really have. Look at the gap he's building, 7/10. He's absolutely flying at the minute, using a lot of battery, but both of them really on equal amounts of battery. So, you know, you can't really compare that at the minute. Of course, there's a battery for Mikey, not unfortunately coming up for Nathan. Malone with a 3-second time penalty. A lot of drivers with penalties now then, quite a lot on the grid. Biggest we've got at the moment is 6, and that goes to Harry, as well as, whereabouts is he? Blake, I believe, has a 6-second as well on time penalties. But 9 laps remaining then. We cross the line with the drivers for lap 20 of 29. F1 Mikey Boy leading with a 0.3 of a second gap to Nathan. Nathan sets the fastest lap around then on that go. And JP now picks up a time penalty, his first one on the day, I believe. Unless that's a 6-second now for JP. Oh no, my apologies. No, it is his first one. As JP then with his first penalty, 3 warnings now to his name. The warnings at the top then between the top 5 without a time penalty. Danny is the only driver without a warning at the minute. Everybody else in front of him, the top 3 with 1 warning. Ferrari for Life has 2, so 1 warning away from a penalty. Nathan gets past Mikey Boy again in the Williams. F1 Nathan makes an overtake there then. He gets into P1 again. Mikey Boy in 2nd place at the moment. Unfortunately, losing a place there, dropping back. Well, F1 Nathan, your leader on lap 22 of 29. Mikey Boy with a 5/10 of a second gap, half a second then at the minute, and coming down in towards turn 9 we go in a moment's time. Can Mikey make an overtake here on Nathan to regain the lead of the Grand Prix? It would be very, very crazy to make the move through there, but he doesn't. And holds back, but now might just find a gap round the outside into turn 11, I believe. Is he going to get through? No, he isn't. Still holding on. But right on the rears, as behind that, Nova Piper making a very late lunge. Behind that is Ferrari for Life, and behind that is Danny. The top 5 making their way down the main straight then to start lap 23 of 29, and 6 laps left after this one. Oh, Sidemen off the side of the track, everybody. Sidemen, unfortunately, off onto the grass there, into the gravel. Now back onto the main track. But Sidemen down in P12 and behind his teammate now of JP, unfortunately. F1 Mikey Boy leads now ahead of Nathan again. Nearly 3 abreast into turn 9 is Nova Piper now. He's on the scene. Nova running in 3rd, and he's also had a good race today, as well as Ferrari for Life, the world champion, the current reigning champion, who's been trying to get past his teammate all race long. They've been fighting all race long. The 2 McLarens going all out, and with 6 laps remaining, which one will take the final spot on the podium today? Mikey and Nathan pretty much confirmed for 1 and 2. They've had a really good race so far, and it isn't looking like they're going to let off. Mikey ahead. Nathan might be able to regain this, though. You can see Mikey burning all his battery now to get ahead, stay ahead. Ferrari for Life finally makes that overtake on his teammate into P3. The McLaren goes ahead of Nova Piper. As Ferrari for Life now picks up a time penalty in the McLaren. 3 seconds now to him, and he will lose out to his teammate on positions now and on penalties. Through goes Nova into 3rd, and now Ferrari for Life might just struggle. Back up the front, Nathan goes again. Nathan back into the race lead, and it's going to be a fight to the end between the drivers. We've got Nathan on the hards, Mikey on the mediums, which 7 laps old at the minute, so they might just start to wear off as we get more into this race. as JP ahead of Romeo Blues now. Into P10 goes JP. Romeo drops a place into P11 and unfortunately losing out with 0.3 of a second the gap. But back to the front where we are, lap 25 at 29. Nathan as your race leader at the minute, with Mikey Boy behind by a second. He has dropped back behind that second. Might lose out on DRS then in a moment. We'll find out if he has. Oh, he did. He did. Mikey lost out on that very important DRS. The gap still 0.9, but he could have done with that. It would have really brought him closer with the rear wing being open. Fire for Life has just used it on his teammate. The yellow flags in the final sector. The first sector. It is Maloon hitting the barrier quite hard there. Wing damage on the front and left. Whoa, man, Maloon has really ruined this, unfortunately. Massive wing damage for him then. Well, we are 26 laps into this race, everybody. 26 laps into this Grand Prix. And at the minute, it has been quite an enjoyable one. It really, really has. Oh, Mikey. Oh, what's happened to Mikey? Down to P4, everybody. F1 Mikey Boy on lap 26 has fell down the order. Andy J. Price and Humboldt as well are fighting each other now. Humboldt into P7. Very close there with the contact. Lap 27 begins. Andy on the outside line here of Humboldt. Will we get a move? Andy J. Price trying his best, but not enough there for a move. Sticking behind. Ahead now then we look. Fry for Life ahead of Nova Piper. What is going on here? F1 Mikey Boy is trying his best to get back through. He's on the backside of the McLarens now, fighting as much as he can. Looks for the outside line, can't do it just yet. Nova Piper in front of him. The Haas car on the final few laps of this Grand Prix is fighting like his life depends on it. He will be really seething about that after dropping down the order. He was running in second the most part, the lead of the race for quite a bit. But here comes F1 Mikey Boy. Looks for the outside line here then for an overtake. Is it possible? No, it isn't. Not just yet. Braking very late as well there is Mikey. He's got Danny behind him. Here comes Danny up the inside. Danny from 5th on the grid at the moment. Now around the outside line, trying to make an overtake on F1 Mikey. Not able to just yet though as lap 28 begins. It is the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Danny behind Mikey here then. We gain all the way down into towards turn 1. Is the Red Bull going to make a move? Not just yet though. Into turn 1 we go. As Danny looks up the inside, trying to make a pass here on F1 Mikey Boy, making his life incredibly difficult on the final 2 laps of the race. Humboldt now picks up a time penalty as JP having a bit of a scrap here with Harry. JP really has made his way through the order up into 8th place, and the consistency from him, fair enough. He really has brought it back quite a bit, making his way through the order quite nicely indeed. But Nathan has checked out with a 3.8 second gap then to Ferrari for Life behind, and it has certainly gone well then, ladies and gentlemen. It has certainly gone very well indeed for the guy behind. As across the line we go. And the final lap of the Grand Prix begins now. F1 Nathan on his first race here in the World Racing Championship is giving us an absolutely brilliant show. And he leads the Grand Prix by 4 seconds at the minute. Ferrari for Life also has a time penalty, meaning that Nova Piper will take that second place as it stands. Nathan, a new driver, we're going to get to speak to him in the interview room later on then after this race. And it has really gone his way, hasn't it? It really has. But he has to see it out, and it hasn't happened yet until he makes it final when he crosses that line. The two McLarens running 2 and 3 as Mikey still fighting with Danny. Mikey boy ahead of Danny now on the final lap, but it's still only good enough for 4th place. Mikey boy at the minute wanting to get up towards Ferrari for Life here and potentially, you know, take it on the penalties, but Ferrari with only 3 seconds of penalties, the gap's too large here. Up towards F1 Nathan then, everybody, and on his debut race here in the World Racing Championship, he has shown up today, crossing the line. He will win the first round of the season. He wins the Australian Grand Prix. F1 Nathan, on his debut, wins here in WRC. It is Nova Piper 2. Ferrari for Life manages to take the podium, and Mikey just about loses out at the end there. Danny finishes P5, P6 then for Shelby. And it is Andy J. Price, 7, 8 then for JP, 9 Humboldt. Oh, Romeo Blues now up to 8 then with penalties. Harry over the line in 11. Simon will take 12 and Blake will take 13. Well, what a race. Quite a hectic one, I must say. Quite a different one today, but still highly enjoyable. I just want to say as well, if there's anyone in the chat, if there's a chat for Tuesday division, I can't see it anymore. All of the Tuesday stuff has gone. So, you know, if you could try and help me with that, guys, I'll be brilliant. Because, unfortunately, I cannot see anything. Here we go, then. Race winner, F1 Nathan on his first race here. It is fastest lap to Maloon, driver of the day, Romeo Blues. And also, he takes the most overtakes. This is your finisher results, then. Nathan 1, Nova 2, Ferrari for Life in 3. 2 McLarens line up, then, in 2nd and 3rd. As we're going to have your post-race interviews, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with us for a moment as we get the drivers in the post-race interview room. Nova and Ferrari for Life joining us for interviews. Let me just get in there. 2 seconds, guys. Hello. Right. Hello. I'm just going to make sure the audio is working because it isn't working at the minute. I don't want to do an interview and it's completely silent. Hang on.
Is that the Ferrari? Look at the chat.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Nope.
Right, I think we're good. Let's have a look then. We've got
Where's
Fire
this
for Life.
Nathan guy?
Let's go from P3 then, if that's all right. Fire for Life
Oh,
first.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. It's good to speak to you again. Always speaking to you in the chat, and of course, brand new season. What's your thoughts on that race as a whole?
No, it was good fun. Obviously, me and Nova, I had the courtesy of having a good teammate, so me and him was working all the time. It was a bit unfortunate. I felt like I had the pace with the guys at the front, but my own driving put me where I was. But yeah, in the end, I think I did quite well to secure a P3, especially with the penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the pace and the level of driving is getting just, it's increasing every single race. Do you think, constant race wins is going to be something that's going to happen for you this season?
I mean, if I actually played the game, yeah, I don't see why not.
Good stuff. Very good stuff. And in terms of tire degradation and stuff, was that all good today, or did you have any issues with anything?
The mediums were the worst thing ever. The hards I absolutely loved. It was like heaven. And then
Yeah.
you put on the mediums after about 4 laps and they're gone.
Well, you handled it well. P3 at the end, and hopefully we see some race wins from you in the coming season, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Great comms as always.
Thank you very much. Nova Piper, second place. The other McLaren, of course.
oh, mate, fucking brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Give us your thoughts on that race.
Well, got a bit lucky with the safety cars because, well, the first safety car came out. I was going to try and go to the end, but then the tyre wear was too high.
Yeah.
So the second safety car came out again, and people like Danny and Mikey Boy both went onto the mediums. So me and Ferrari were like, oh well, at the end of the race, their tires are going to be finished. So that's what we tried to do. And then I let Ferrari go in front because he had the 3 seconds. So then he was dragging me along, and we broke the 3 seconds from the people behind, and it worked out quite well.
Coming into this race, were you expecting that
Oh,
finishing
absolutely
place?
not.
Were you not?
Nah. There was no. I had no clue where I was going to finish. I thought I was finished like 10th or something like that because I'm fucking knackered. But
Yeah.
it worked out quite well. Got quite lucky with the safety cars, and then a few good overtakes during the race put me in a decent position.
Well, obviously, you say you weren't expecting it, but coming into this new season, now you've experienced one race. Do you think this is a position where you might find yourself a few times, potentially?
Yeah, well, I'm at uni a few times, so I won't be participating for a few races
Yeah.
in between. But when I'm at home and I've got my wheel and stuff, I think I should be all right. And up there.
Good stuff. I'm glad to hear it. Thanks for your time, mate. I appreciate you joining. It's good to speak
No
to you as
worries.
well.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, nice to meet you, mate.
Right then. Thank you very much, guys. I don't think we're getting the race winner, but you guys drove a brilliant race, so I'll see you guys soon.
Sweet. Cheers, mate.
See ya. Right then, everybody. That is your post-race interviews. But of course, to end off, we do have our brilliant new sponsor, Boss Property Rentals. WRC, of course, is proud to partner with Boss Property Rentals, offering luxury sea view Airbnbs for both short and long stays. This spacious and distinctive apartment is designed to keep the whole group comfortable, featuring stunning views across the sea and the local marina. Ideally located, you'll be surrounded by vibrant bars, excellent restaurants, and charming boutique shops. Just a drive away, you'll find some of Pembrokeshire's most breathtaking coastline and beaches, perfect for days out and coastal adventures. Whether you're visiting as a couple, with a family, or in a group, there's plenty to keep everyone entertained. The property is also conveniently located near the Ironman Wales event, making it an ideal base for participants and supporters alike. Once again, thank you very much to Boss Property Rentals for sponsoring this stream, and thank you very much to all of you for joining us this evening. I'll leave you on this screen. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening, everybody. Good night.
Y yo le dije, mami, que me